God, mornings are hard sometimes. The alarm goes off and my mind was already running. All the things I didn't finish yesterday, all the responsibility ahead, all the tiny worries I wish I could ignore. Before I even sit up, I feel the pressure before my feet hit the floor. I'm already trying to problem solve and plan and anticipate everything that could go wrong. And in the middle of all that noise, I forget that this day isn't mine to carry alone. I forget that before I start doing, I can simply start being with you. I don't want to keep beginning my days overwhelmed. I want to begin with you, not as an afterthought, not as a rushed moment I squeeze in, but as the first thing, the grounding thing, the one thing that sets everything else in place. Because when I start with your presence, everything shifts. The pressure feels lighter. The schedule feels manageable. My own thoughts don't feel so loud. But when I skip this, when I forget to pause and acknowledge you, the whole day feels unanchored. Like I'm chasing calm but never quite catching it. Like I'm trying to be strong without the source of strength. And I'm tired of that. I want to build a new rhythm. One where mornings are not just about tasks and timelines, but about awareness. Where I stop and breathe and remember you are here, right now. Before I move, you're already present. Before I speak, you're already listening. Before anything else happens, you've already surrounded me with grace. So help me slow down. Help me resist the urge to rush into the day without you. Help me let go of the fear that if I don't start fast, I'll fall behind. Because I know that the truest productivity doesn't come from panic. It comes from presence. Presence. I want to invite you into the start of my day like I'm opening the windows to let light in. Not to impress you, not to check a box, but because I can't breathe deeply without your peace. Because I can't think clearly without your grounding. Because I can't be who I'm called to be without first remembering who I am and whose I am. So I bring you my morning, God, as it is, sometimes chaotic, sometimes slow, sometimes anxious, sometimes hopeful, sometimes numb, and I invite you into all of it. No filter, no script, just an honest start with the one who knows me completely and still stays close. I don't just want your presence at the beginning of my day. I want it to carry through everything that follows, because I know what happens. I start off with good intentions, a few quiet moments with you, maybe a prayer while brushing my teeth, or sipping coffee, but then the pace picks up, the notifications start, the needs pile on, and before long, I forget to move from that place of peace into autopilot, reacting, rushing, surviving, and you're not gone, but I've drifted. My awareness slips, my dependence fades. I start thinking it's all on me again, and I don't want to live like that anymore. I don't want your presence to be a moment. I want it to be the atmosphere I carry with me. I want it to shape the way I walk into every space, whether it's a meeting, a conversation, or an ordinary routine. I want it to change how I see interruptions, how I handle stress, how I respond to people, because when I forget you're near, I become someone I don't want to be. Impatient, reactive, insecure. But when I remember you're right beside me, when I remember I don't have to prove or perform, I breathe deeper, I speak slower, I move differently, I live anchored instead of anxious. So I'm asking you to be the rhythm beneath my day, not just the one I visit, but the one I live from. Be the pause before I answer, be the whisper that checks my tone, be the steady ground beneath the emotions that rise and fall. I want my entire day to be built around your presence, not just squeezed in between everything else. Let my awareness of you become natural, like second natures. Let it become so real that I catch myself talking to you without even trying, like a friend who never left the room. Remind me in small ways that you're near, a gentle nudge, a moment of beauty, a quiet sense that I'm seen. And when I get distracted, because I will, bring me back gently, kindly, quickly, because this isn't about guilt. It's about grace. It's about learning to live awake to the reality that I'm never alone. So be in the background of my thinking, Be in the middle of my schedule. Be in the silence between my sentences. Be in the noise I can't control. Let your presence walk with me, not just in the sacred but in the simple, so that every part of today feels touched by something holy. Some days are harder than others. There are mornings I wake up already drained, before the day even begins. Nothing bad has happened yet, but I feel the weight of life pressing in. The schedule feels too full, the emotions feel too loud, and I feel like I'm bracing myself, just trying to make it through without falling apart. On those days it's even harder to invite you in, not because I don't want it to, but because I forget I can. I forget that I don't have to be in a good place to come close. I don't have to feel spiritual to open the door. I don't need to be calm to reach for peace. So today, I'm asking for strength to keep choosing your presence, even when I don't feel like it, even when I'm frustrated, short-tempered, unmotivated, or tired. Especially then, remind me that you are not intimidated by my mess. You don't turn away when I'm impatient or closed off. You will as you stay. You invite me back again and again. I want to build a kind of faith that doesn't crumble under pressure, not because I've mastered my emotions, but because I've anchored them in you. I want to wake up and invite you in, not just when I feel inspired, but when I feel, not just when I'm hopeful, but when I'm wrestling with disappointment. Not just when the day is going smoothly, but when everything feels off before it even begins. Because that's real life. And I believe you want to meet me there in the reality, not the performance. So help me not check out, help me not drift through the day, numbing out with distractions. Help me not hide behind my to-do list. Help me to stop for a moment and say, God, I don't have much today, but you can have it all. I don't feel strong today, but I want to lean on you. I don't know how this day will go, but I want to go through it with you. Let that honesty be enough. Let it open the door again to connection, because I don't need to impress you to be in your presence. I just need to show up. So I'm here, a little raw, a little worn, but well ready to walk through this day, not as someone carrying it all alone, but as someone being carried. And in that I can begin again. God, the more I invite you in, the more I realize this isn't just about feeling better. It's about becoming different. Your presence doesn't just soothe, it transforms. It doesn't just calm my nerves, it rewires my thoughts. It doesn't just help me survive the day, it changes how I live it. And I want that. I want more than temporary relief from stress. I want to be the kind of person who is shaped by stillness, who walks into chaos with clarity, who responds instead of reacts, who listens more than defends, who brings peace, not pressure. And I know that doesn't come from trying harder. It comes from being rooted, grounded, aligned with something deeper than my emotions, my mood, or my environment. That something is you. It's your presence in me that starts to shift what's broken, that softens what's hard, that unhooks what's anxious. And I want to give you full permission to do that, not just to comfort me, but to change me, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's slow, even if it means undoing some of the habits and thoughts I've built up over years. Because I know I wasn't made to live this hurried, disconnected, reactive kind of life. I was made for peace, for joy, for presence. I was made to live awake, not sleepwalking through my own days. And when I start each morning by inviting you in, you remind me of that truth. You pull me back from my autopilot thinking and bring me back to the moment. The real, the one I'm actually living, not just rushing through. And in that moment I begin to see, you're not just changing how I feel, you're changing who I'm becoming. You're helping me show up to life with softness instead of strain, with focus instead of fear, with purpose instead of pressure, and even when nothing big seems to happen on the outside, I know something is shifting on the inside. Slowly, quietly, deeply. That's the kind of change I want, not a spiritual high, but a steady, lasting transformation that starts the moment I say, God, this morning is yours, and shape me as I go. Now I see that starting my day with you isn't just for me, it's also for the people I'll meet, the words I'll speak, the energy I'll carry into rooms I enter. Because when I invite you in at the start, something happens. My tone shifts. My posture soft. I stop rushing people. I listen better. I extend grace more easily. I carry light into places that feel heavy. And it's not because I'm trying harder. It's because you're overflowing through me. You become the quiet filter between my emotions and my action. You become the reminder to breathe before I speak. You become the calm in moments that could have turned chaotic. And that's who I want to be. Someone who doesn't just start the day with you and then forgets, but someone who starts the day with you and carries you forward. And I want to bring you with me into conversations that need kindness, into tensions that need peace, into interactions that feel cold and distant, into places where someone else might be feeling the same kind of loneliness I used to wake up with. I want the overflow of your presence to reach places I can't plan for. The chance encounter at the store, the awkward meeting, the unspoken moment with someone whose heart is breaking silently. I want to be fully available, not just to my schedule, but to what you might want to do through. That's what starting my day with you really means. Not just asking for a better morning, but asking for a different way to live. A way that begins in stillness and spills into service. A way that starts in quiet but doesn't stay hidden. A way that's deeply rooted and freely given. So tomorrow when I wake up again, remind me, before I scroll, before I run, before I react, remind me to pause, to invite you in again, to say, God, I'm not doing today without, and let that one decision keep shaping me into someone who's not just spiritually busy, but spiritually present. Someone who brings peace into the noise, light into the gray, hope into the ordinary, because I'm learning now one quiet moment with you can change the entire day, not by fixing everything, but by anchoring me in the one who never changes.